It is 2 days before a derby. So we got Case here. He won the Wasatch Wipeout in this car behind us. We're gonna get this thing fixed so he can take it to Colville, Utah and win again.
Hopefully.
Some of you might be wondering, why did we go to a derby? Why did we follow Case? Where does he fall into place? If you see this beautiful building behind us, back in 2019, Case, his dad and his brother, they own Wells Barker Construction. They did the steel erection on this building. So we've been friends for probably 10 years or so through the demolition derby world. We do a lot of stuff together. Case is one of my best friends. Now that it's derby season, you guys are gonna be seeing quite a bit more of Case. He's given us a car for me and him to run the 2-man Extreme class in. Literally, we have 2 days to get a motor, tranny, rear end, everything inside, front clip, bumper, all the stuff. I think with the 4 of us, we're gonna be able to get it all done, but we got a lot to do, so let's go and get to work. We're gonna fulfill the itch that I got at the Wasatch Wipeout Demolition Derby. What we've got behind me is a pre-ran Demolition Derby car. It's a 76 Buick. We're gonna put a motor and tranny in it and rear end, and we're gonna run it at the Colville Derby in the 2-man Extreme class. Case is gonna be the driver. I'm gonna be the passenger. The way this 2-man Extreme Derby works is the driver has the brake pedal and he has the steering wheel. Passenger has the gas pedal and the shifter. I'm gonna be all gas all night long, 'cause that's the way we like to drive.
Man, this car looks pretty beat up.
This is one of the best. We're already compact and can't move no more now.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Today is Wednesday. The derby is on Saturday, and tomorrow I'm gonna be gone because I have to go down to Hurricane. We've got a thing to do with BF Goodrich. And Case is coming down from Heber City, so him and Hillbilly are gonna be working on the derby car while I'm gone. Well, how'd you get yourself in this situation, Robby? I was super pumped that it wasn't me that had to go through it. I'm glad it was you.
He'll be fine. Yeah, absolutely. He's gonna be good at it.
I've been working hard on this derby car. So the derby's Saturday, today's Thursday. So we have today, tomorrow, Saturday morning. So 2.5 days. So I've gotten the gas tank put in. I don't have the fuel line or the electrical ran up yet. I got the the transmission cooler in. I don't have none of that ran up yet, but it's installed. The seat is in place. It's not secured. So I'm gonna be working on securing the seat, and I'll be working on getting all the lines and electrical ran up the front. Got the battery box in. Now I'm just running the wiring for the fuel pump and the tranny cooler fan.
So where's Robby? Why are you doing all this?
You didn't even scratch it like Paul did.
Since I didn't scratch it, I think you get to sign your scratch.
Oh yeah, I think I own that thing.
Perfect. That's actually pretty dang fun.
When you get the leg tap going on the brake, you're having a good time.
And I'm like trying to watch him in the mirrors in the way, so I'm watching with my bad eye and...
He wants to go and have all this fun. He skipped out on building the car, but he's gonna go enjoy the show.
Wish we can go on vacation too.
I've already cleaned up the metal. I'm gonna weld a bolt to it so that way it can hold my hoses and wiring in one spot so they don't move. And then I can also attach my ground wires for the fan and the fuel pump to that, because we ground the battery to the roll cage. We'll weld another stud on for the ground, so that way anywhere you hook to the roll cage will automatically be grounded. So I'm gonna weld this on. Let that cool, and then I can hook my wiring and grounds up.
We'll get that bumper up out of the rock.
All right, so Dar flexed out a little bit, lost his radiator. Paul's using his winch, and we're gonna pull it up. I'm gonna stand here and watch, but he's gonna do all the work.
Okay, so what we're doing now, we're putting torque converter sighted on the transmission shaft and gonna bolt it up to the motor. But before I can put the torque converter into the transmission, you don't have to, but I like to put a couple quarts into the torque converter, so that way when you start adding fluid and then you start it up to check it, you don't have to worry about the torque converter getting fluid because it's already been filled up. So I want to start adding some transmission fluid in there. Okay, so I added 2 quarts. I know that's not quite enough, but it's gonna be good enough that we're not having to worry about it drinking so much more ATF when we start adding it. So now when you put the torque converter in, you can't just put it on and bolt it up. You gotta put it on, turn it and wiggle it back and forth, and then it'll make a click noise and slide in further, and you should do that a couple of times until you don't get no more clicks. There we go. It's seated all the way. When you hear that noise, it means you're good, it's seated. It's rubbing on the bell housing. Once you tighten it up to the flex plate, it pulls it back a little bit so it won't rub on the bell housing. So now it's time to install the tranny on the back of the motor. Transmission is installed. Now I just gotta go get some nuts and bolts so I can bolt the torque converter to the flywheel. Oh, one more thing. I need to install distributor protector. Not only does it protect the distributor, but it also helps hold the wires onto the distributor so that way they're not popping off on you. Got a pretty decent amount accomplished today. I mean, it doesn't look much, but some of it's time consuming. But I got the gas tank put in and bolted down. I had to build new mounts for it. So it's bolted in place. Tranny cooler is bolted in place. Battery box is bolted in place. Had to drill holes for that. Got the hose for the fuel tank, the tranny lines, and the wiring all ran nice and tidy. Got the seat mounted in place. So now we just gotta get the motor in, and the motor and transmission in so we can hook up the shifter, the fuel line to the motor, and the tranny lines to the motor, or to the transmission. So now we just gotta wait for Robby to get back so we can put the motor in because he wants to be here for that.
We got Case here now. He's doing work on the front end, getting it ready.
Just heating up a piece of metal, you know. That way we can form it.
It's hot up here.
Well, Hillbilly, I think we're finally ready for the motor.
Oh, look who decided to come back from vacation.
Vacation, I was working.
At the dunes playing. It's called working.
Well, I mean, I was at Sand Hollow for work. What did you do today?
Everything inside.
It looks pretty dang good. Hillbilly got the seat, the shifter, the gas tank, the tranny cooler, and the battery box all installed. And the wiring harness ready to go. I think the next thing we're gonna do is get the motor installed and then get the tranny cross member put in. Hillbilly built us a wiring harness. Check this out. He got it wrapped in hose. It's all black taped up. The only thing I have to do now is I've just got to put ends on. So tomorrow we'll go to Napa. We'll get some crimp style battery cable ends. We'll get them put on. We'll build us a ground wire. We'll get this thing just ready to install in this car. We had our motor delivered last night at midnight from our friend Joker. He spent the last 2 days getting the motor rebuilt, getting it ready. It's a 355. We're gonna be slapping that thing in tonight. We've got literally one more full day before the Derby. Today is Thursday and it is 10 o'clock at night. So we've got all day Friday and we have to leave Saturday morning to go to Colville, Utah, where we're gonna drive this thing. We are entering into the two-man extreme show. What that means is Case is gonna be driving, steering the car. I'll be in the passenger side running the throttle and running the shifters. Not really sure how we're gonna do it. It's gonna be chaotic, but it's so much fun. Last year, me and my buddy Randy Mikowski, we got first place and most aggressive driver at this show. That's what we're gonna be shooting for. We've literally got one day to get this thing finished. I don't know if we're gonna make it, but we're gonna give it our best shot. I'm excited. I basically just wreck for fun and fix them for a living. I had no idea that this motor was gonna get put in tonight. We're gonna make Hillbilly's dreams come true.
Fire it too?
No, but we're gonna weld it in at least. I think it's in.
I think it's in.
I think you missed a couple runs.
Hillbilly thinks that these are not heavy duty enough, so he is grabbing some new copper lugs. We are going to make some cables. This is to protect our wires down by the motor, goes into the car, starter wire, gotta make that. All right, so I'm very OCD about my cables, so I smash crimp every single end. So it is crimped. Now we need to put an eyelet on the end. We're doing this in the morning. I'm too tired to function, so it's tomorrow. So Hillbilly and Case have been busy all day long working on the car. We've got a ton of stuff done. We'll go back in there and show you in a minute. We got to go out to the Derby storage unit and look for some all thread. We need some 1-inch. We went around to all the stores and all they have is 7/8, so we're hoping that we have 1-inch out there. I went and got 7/8, came back, showed Hillbilly, and he's trying to tell me that we've got a bunch of 7/8 all thread in the van. I don't think that's true because the only thing we run is 1-inch. So we're going on a mission to go see if he's right.
We're looking at
A lot of stuff in here. All right, so we have a tiny piece of 1-inch.
Hey, You can make one good at 1 inch long.
We really could possibly weld that together. Did you check the storage container?
No, because it's out of sight, out of mind. But if I remember right, the other day when I was there getting stuff out of there, I thought I seen a piece there. A chunk of off that. I don't know what size it is.
Well, head over to the storage container and go look then.
So, me and Robby just introduced you guys to one of our storage containers, which that's the mobile one. It still starts, runs, and drives. And that one's strictly derby stuff. Another one we're going to is a big Conex storage container. It has a bunch of derby stuff in there, but also everything that we kept out of the building when after the fire happened, when we cleaned it up, is also in there too. So when you open the doors, it stinks.
Crack her open.
Need to bring some of that, bring a can of that free over so we can spray these so they move like they're supposed to again. Horrible smell.
Door bar.
Stinks. So we found a small chunk, but there's one more spot I want to go check. There's just odds and ends, miscellaneous derby car stuff. So I'm going to get this closed up and walk over and show you. So this right here, this big empty lot, this is where the old shop was at. It was connected to that building. Luckily, the fire department was able to save that building, but they wasn't able to save ours because it was already a total loss by the time I got here. So this is the other spot that has just kind of odds and ends, miscellaneous, a couple of derby parts, all the tubing that we use to build roll cages, the excess pieces that are cut off so we can't use anywhere else. All Robby's, or not all, but some of Robby's rat rods. But this is what used to be the part of the parking lot for the building. That's the piece I seen. I think out of the three, we can make one long enough.
We aren't gonna lose a derby over 1/8 of an inch. Thanks for getting it, but. All right, so what I'm doing now is I'm gonna get my radiator mount all installed. So as you can see, Hillbilly and Case got the front clip all on and welded. The motor and tranny are installed. The steering column's in, the drive line's in, the seats, the wiring, everything is in. The only thing we have to do now is install the radiator, put the hood on, all thread and spacers, wheels and tires. I mean, there's still a ton of stuff to do, but we're getting closer, and we've only got tonight to get it finished. All right, so what Case just cut, we call them core support spacers. It goes in between the radiator support and the frame, and we put the all thread down through it, and it keeps the front end and the frame together with the big, huge bolt in between it. And when working on derby cars, make sure you get your derby squint on. What I've got here is some mounts for the radiator that I'm gonna weld to the core support.
Gotta do one of the most important parts, that's putting air breather on this so you don't suck dirt in the motor.
Why hasn't this thing been started yet? I figured you'd have this started long ago.
Waiting for you.
Hey, Hillbilly, we gotta leave the sticker on so we don't void our warranty.
What warranty?
So there's a warranty on it, look. It says warranty void if removed. So when we're done with the derby, we can get us a new one.
I think they're gonna know, as soon as they see it, they'll void the warranty.
No, they won't. Basically putting a cage around the radiator. So I've got this where I want it. One more side.
What are you doing?
We're doing the most important part to make this motor run. The last part we have to do before we can start it, and that's put fuel in the tank.
No, we need water in the radiator.
You don't need water in the radiator to start it.
We don't start things until they're ready to start. Remember what happens? Shop burned down.
This is bad practice.
She's a little thirsty. I think the tank was bone dry. Almost there.
All done.
Okay, now I'm gonna put a washer on it. One radiator.
Expertly installed.
That's right. All right, so Hillbilly's just finishing up the upper radiator hose, and we will have that completely finished. While Hillbilly's getting the radiator filled up, it's dinner time. Literally, it's time to eat food.
It's dinner time.
So I'm gonna run and grab some pizza. We'll be back. We're gonna eat.
Can't promise we won't wait for you to get back to start it.
You start this while I'm gone, and you're not getting a derby car.
Okay, I'll have Case start it then. Whoa! When someone tells me I better not do something, I usually do it. So guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna fire it up for the first time.
I don't think you should. He said you won't get a derby car.
I already have a derby car.
I just work here.
We need to go get a couple more parts from AutoZone before they close.
Well, I think Hillbilly's a gorilla, and he, I think, over-tightened the bolts to the water pump. So, pinch the gasket. Got a water leak.
Just gotta put new ones in.
Put new ones in.
And that's where Hillbilly went, is he had to go to AutoZone to get some more gaskets.
Holy silicone. Well, that looks to be our issue.
The only set they had in stock. Luckily, we got it. And I made it back before Robby got here. So now, shh, we have to keep it a secret. He can't know that I started it.
Well, we got the gaskets put back together. We're just testing it before we put it 100% back together. Make sure Hillbilly didn't tighten something up too tight again.
See.
Oh, here's your thin crust.
So we all ate. Now it's time to get this thing done. So we're gonna shorten up this power steering return line, and this motor should be ready to fire.
I say we go to bed because we all ate. Now we're all tired.
Do you have something to tell him, Hillbilly?
Why is this pipe hot?
Is the heater on?
Oh yeah, it's hot in here.
Okay,
It's hot in here.
who started this car?
I didn't.
It's the heater.
Dinner.
I just work here.
You guys better not have started this without me. It's so funny, Dinner, why you got the giggles?
Don't.
You guys are funning me. Okay, you guys know, anytime you got a zip tie, you gotta chew on it. All right, our return line was like 2 miles too long. Casey's got it all shortened up, zip tied, everything's looking hunky-dory.
I'll go find power steering fluid.
And we should be able to, in theory, just about start this thing.
When I go to demos, Hillbilly, I don't like to pack. If I can just take...
I packed the back of it.
Robby
Entire
packs the
back of
shop into the back of his. in the back
so
of
do
his
I, but
We got a debate. Case likes to only run one type of fluid. That's ATF. Hillbilly thinks that we need to have power steering, oil, ATF, you know, like 100 different types. I like simplicity.
Says the man that packs the whole shop up to go to a derby.
You know what? They both win. They both get first place on this one, not just Hillbilly.
I don't share that position.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you lost then.
Sharing it right now. Are we ready?
Time out.
Need water?
Hillbilly, we're one step ahead, man. You took second in that race. Do you remember this clamp you thought you had to Hercules?
I didn't Hercules it. It wasn't even tight. And it
No, I
just stripped.
didn't Hercules it.
We're stretching this hose out, making sure it fits.
So you have it tighter than I did.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. All right, now what? Are we ready? This is what we've been waiting for all day long. You guys ready? First time's a charm. That sounds pretty dang good.
That sounds very familiar.
Well, yeah, we ran into Montana a year ago.
Seems like just yesterday. Or earlier today I heard it.
I knew you started it.
I didn't say that.
I knew it.
I didn't say that.
Can't leave these kids to themselves for any amount of time.
They don't go into gear, by the way.
Is it really not going to gear? All right, well, now that I know that Hillbilly ruined the moment and stole it, because I know he did,
I didn't.
should I believe him? What do you guys think? All right, let's set the steering wheel since now I'm in here. Case, get in here. Let's show the people what they want to see. All right, what do you think, Case? Like there? This is so cool. This is like that when you're at like an amusement park and they have double steering wheels.
Yeah, like a bumper car.
We should put mine on a bearing.
No, you shouldn't. You'll be turning it.
I know.
That'd be cool.
But what we should do is put a pulley on yours and a pulley on mine. So really,
Oh, that way.
with a belt, like the mail trucks.
Yeah, so that I can.
So that
turn
I can just do this and just hold on.
You're just along for the ride. Oh, dude, that's gonna be fun.
We'll cut that gusset out.
That'll be a headbanger.
You got a helmet? We can have it run a ratchet strap around your helmet around the seat and hold your head in place.
We'll put the other pedals in so that you have something to hold on to. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put another set of pedals in that are dummy pedals so that Case has stirrups for his feet. The way I drive is I lock out right here, pushing into my seat, and mark right above it. All right, we're gonna get this cut, get the steering wheel installed. We'll put pedals in, and then what else do we have to do in here? Oh, is that it?
Pedals.
Adjust your seatbelt.
Pedals, cut that gusset.
Hillbilly spent 27 hours making this out of lug nuts.
It was more like 5 minutes.
Ow! That ought to hold. When we're in here, and Case is going full tilt buggy, and he's spinning us in donuts, I'll be able to hold on and it'll sound and feel just like that.
I think we need a CB in it, personally.
I think that'd make hillbillies' dreams come true.
Someone could sit inside the tow truck and direct you guys on who's behind you and when you're about to get hit.
Do you plan on just driving the tow truck in the arena so you can sit, or coaching from the parking lot? I'm a little confused.
Coach from the parking lot, bud.
You got plates, clips, clip, singular, front fenders.
Well,
That's pretty much done.
Dizzle Dunsky.
Bumper, hood.
Okay, so I'm gonna transfer these. I'm gonna cross these off so that we don't get confused.
How do you spell plates?
P-L-E-I-G-H-T-S.
Plate eats. You're right. Hood. What was the other ones?
What was the other one? Oh yeah, we had bumper on there.
Already got bumper.
We got bumper right there.
Well, what if we want to do 2 bumpers?
Oh, we need to clearance that rear wheel.
Let's see, now it looks like we did stuff.
If you write something down and then you cross it off, you've done something. Get the yawns. We tested that theory at the Wasatch Wipeout. We yawned, and half of you guys watching yawned too. So you're welcome. Oh, is that the hood? These are my favorite part. I built these.
You know what we should do?
What?
Hurry and clean these up and paint them Chevy orange.
Maybe next time. All right, so Case is finishing up the all thread. We have to use 1 1-inch, 1 7/8, but it's not gonna matter in this situation. So he's got it all where it needs to be. We're gonna get it tightened up. And then we're working on getting the front bumper mounted. I've got all the washers and bolts that we're gonna bolt the hood down with. It's getting late, we're getting super tired. So we still have a ton of stuff to do before the Derby, so wish us luck. Hopefully we get it done. I can't find my 1-inch by 5-inch washers. At the back of the hood, we use 1-inch bolts. So I need some big washers. I need that to go through. So I'm gonna make them. My handy dandy plasma. Simple as that. Now we got our plate for the bottom, then we use our bow tie plate for the top. We're trying to figure out how to measure out this hood so we can cut our holes for the pipes.
Run from here with tape to where the hood is and then run them across straight.
I don't know how you're feeling right now, but I am super tired.
10:30. I'm a morning person, I'm not an evening person.
We're gonna use tape to transfer our lines across.
So we can go 17 or 18. We tack welded it in place so Case can get his measurements before he wants it, before he fully welds it.
I thought you were welding.
Well, before one of us fully welds it.
That looks so freaking good.
Thank you, Roberto.
I like it a lot. All right, I got some holes to cut out for the headers. They don't look like they make sense, but they make sense to me. Hopefully I don't screw it up. Oh, nice. That right there, folks, is how you ruin a 1974 Buick Riviera hood.
It's waning.
It's waning.
No, what's that one song? Dancing in the Rain.
I'm just dancing in the rain.
No. Something about pina coladas, rain.
Oh, drinking.
It's an older song.
Yeah, what?
It's waning. Case pooped out, so I'm taking over. So he's knocking down the firewall where it's been cut out so the distributor clears. He's knocking it down because there's a sharp edge from cutting it. We don't want to cut any wires, fuel line, nothing. Curling it around itself so it's a nice smooth edge instead of sharp jagged edge.
Part of building a derby car is making lots of noise for no reason. Like that.
Exhibit A.
Unnecessary noise making.
One more time. I gotta make some noise.
Exhibit B.
All right, let's see if we can cross anything off the old list. Fan tunnel, check. Bumper, check.
Hood, we're doing it right now.
All right, so let's carry this. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna take the hood that we cut the holes out, we're gonna put it over the pipes, and we're gonna mark these where they need to be cut, hurry and buzz them out, and throw that hood on. That's probably as far as we're gonna get tonight.
Are we in the valley now?
Ish. Pull this off, flip it over, and I'll cut it. let's try that out.
A little confused what you want to do here, Hillbilly. You're confusing me. You made this very difficult.
What's that? This is a homemade socket for all thread. This is a smaller nut, so we're gonna weld the 1-inch nut to it so we can use the big socket. Good enough. We still got a few things to do. We gotta burn some holes, get some bolts in here, but we're pooped. We're giving up.
For the night, not for good.
Who knows? Maybe it's for good. All right, so we've been thrashing for 2 full days. These guys have been busting their butts. I've been working at the shop, so I haven't done a whole lot, but I've done some. We're getting this close to being done with this derby car. But we're exhausted, so we're taking off. As always, we appreciate you guys, and if you enjoyed this video, go check out this one.